Ryan Gass here, PTPGun.com, firearms training. And I was actually, I'm in a Facebook group, and a lot of people were commenting on a person practicing their reloads and talking about, there's different comments that were in there, including but not limited to, or other variations of that. And some people even questioning why somebody would carry more than just one magazine, which is in the gun. And if you don't know, you don't know. And some of those questions were smart-ass questions, but some were genuine questions. People were genuinely wanting to know and learn. And that's what we're here for. So, lots of things go into that. All right. One, I don't care how much you've been on the range, how much training you've been to, how good you think you are at shooting, right? It doesn't matter how magazine that's in the gun is, whether it is 5 rounds, 10 rounds, 15, or like my Glock 17, it has 17 rounds in the standard capacity magazine. It doesn't matter. You have no idea how much you may need to shoot in order to neutralize that threat. You don't know how much of an accuracy rate you're going to have when you're shooting, right? Oh, well, when I'm on the range and I go down and I have my 50 round box of, Winchester white box, I hit the target every single time. Well, one, that's a very vague response. It's a very vague answer. Hitting the target doesn't mean you hit it effectively or accurately. 2, just because you have your coffee and you are down at the range, 10 o'clock in the morning, got your stuff all laid out, you load your magazines and you start firing a couple rounds off and lay the gun back down or put it in a holster if the range allows it. That's not training to fight. That's not training under pressure. That's not training under stress. That's not training when you're tired and beat up and that's just chilling out in the range. That means nothing. That does not translate over. When you are shooting under stress and you're shooting 5, 10, 15 rounds and you're fighting for your life, it's very likely that you're going to have several shots that miss. Obviously, you don't want that. Obviously, it's not the goal. The goal is to get every round on target. But if we're being realistic, not every round's going to hit the target. Let's be realistic. When we're talking about life or death type situations, we're training and we're thinking about what we might have to do or what we need to do in a situation like that, we have to be realistic. So first off, you may need to shoot more rounds than your one single magazine holds. Two, let's say that you are a great shot and every round is going to hit and you won't need 5, 10, or 15 rounds to effectively neutralize that threat. What is to say that your magazine doesn't catastrophically fail? The base plate pops off, the spring comes out, shooting out the bottom, and every freaking round you have in there, after only having shot 1 or 2 rounds, that may or may not have stopped that threat. Probably hasn't stopped that threat. All right? I have seen it happen. I've seen it happen on OEM magazines. I've seen it happen on aftermarket magazines. I've seen it happen on cheap little Tauruses. I've seen it happen on middle-of-the-road Glocks and Smith & Wessons. I've seen it happen on SIGs, CZs. I've seen base plate failures on magazines. Yes, I've also seen magazine base plate failures on OEM magazines. I've seen it on OEM magazines with aftermarket base plates that are made stronger to mitigate the chance of that happening, but I've seen it happen as well. We carry a gun because we don't know what's going to happen. We can't control everything around us. We want to be able to defend ourselves. Well, with that in mind, you don't know what's going to happen, but you do know that your gun's not going to fail, right? That's what you know. You know your gun's not going to fail in your time of need because it hasn't failed your 2 times on the range, your 3 times on the range. If you don't carry an extra magazine for anything else, it's because you know that the magazine in your gun very well could fail. It's not unreasonable for someone to carry, doesn't matter what size gun it is, to carry at least one extra magazine. I think it's decently and reasonable and prudent in order to carry 2 magazines. Do you have to? No. But I definitely think if you're going to carry a gun, you need to carry at least one extra magazine, right? And 2 is definitely not overkill or unreasonable. I do myself. I carry a Glock 17 round magazine inserted, 1 round in the chamber, 18 rounds total, and I carry 2 extra 17 round magazines on me. All right, 1, 2. All right, I'm not gonna take the gun out itself, but 3. All right, 1 in the chamber, 17 round magazine, 2 extra 17s. All right. Very reasonable, very prudent, something that you need to consider. Do you have to do that? No. I am one of those that I will give you knowledge, and what you do with it is up to you. But I think it'd be a very good idea to at least look into and consider it. Also, if you don't know, it's because you don't have that amount of experience to know. And that's understandable. But what's also understandable is that you would seek out training to be able to train under stress, train to fight, train to not only survive but to thrive. Push yourself, push your gun, push your ammo to the limits. Know what you are capable of. Know what your gun is capable of. Know what your weaknesses are. Like I went to a rifle pistol class as a student with carry trainer two Decembers ago, December 2020, down at Homestead, Florida. And in doing that 3A training course, I found faults in the rifle that I was using. And because of that, I was able to go back after class, order better, more efficient, more suitable gear for what I was trying to do, and it's held up a lot better. I wouldn't have known that had I not attended a training course and put that gear and put myself into those type of situations and see that and realize that. You're not going to learn, you're not going to adapt, you're not going to improve just by buying whatever firearm you might have and taking it to the range 1 time or 2 times or 3 times, just to shoot, and then taking it home, loading it up and having it by the bed. That really doesn't do much for you. You need to put yourself into situations, not real life situations. You don't need to go out and find trouble, but I'm saying you need to put yourself in realistic training that is going to push you. But anyway, appreciate you all. Stay safe, and again, just something to consider. If you're going to carry a gun, especially obviously a semi-automatic magazine, if you're going to carry a semi-automatic firearm, it's a smart idea to consider carrying at least 1 extra magazine, if not 2. And obviously, if you're carrying a revolver, carry a speed loader or 2. Don't get in that mindset, flawed mindset that if I can't get him in the first 6 rounds, I shouldn't even own a gun. If I can't get him in the first 6 rounds, I just need to learn how to shoot better. That's not the case. Think smarter, not harder. All right? Think more critically, not just very bland and fuddish like. All right? Thank you all again. Stay safe. Remember to train, defend, and thrive.